Hello out there, all you wonderful people. This is Andre, the Game Idea Guy. Thank you once again for lending me your time and your ear and listening into another video from me. And this time I'm going to be talking about the Switch console itself. I was thinking about going over the launch lineup, but it's not really much of a point. There aren't a whole lot of launch games. There are some new games and some unique games, but it's not a whole lot. Um, Plus, there are going to be companies, like there have been companies like every day talking about games that they're going to be coming that they're bringing to the Switch. Neo Geo or SNK Playmore just recently said that they were bringing a few of their games over to it. Um, Yacht Club Games has also said that Shovel Knight's coming to it. There's still announcements to be made, and we still have a couple months, so I wouldn't worry too much about it at this point. Um, but the hardware in the console itself is really what I would like to talk about, because at least not like the parts that give you all the graphics and all that shit, because that's not really my concern. But the I mean, outside of just being able to play the games anyway, um, the Joy Cons. I like the idea behind them. I like that they serve as one controller together and they can be separated to serve as two separate controllers. I like that versatility. I like that that's an available thing to whoever's playing with it, whoever has a Switch. And while they don't look like they're the most comfortable when you just take them off of the Switch itself, if you put on the piece that has the wrist strap on it, it makes the Joy Cons a little bit bigger and makes the shoulder buttons, the SR and SL buttons, a little bit easier to get to, which is a good to me. That's a good thing. That makes it seem more like a SNES controller just with an analog instead of a D-pad. So with that, I have no gripes. I think that honestly is a good idea. Um, and I like the idea of the HD Rumble, which I don't see why they didn't call it Precision Rumble, because that makes more sense to me, because it's all about the precise precise usage of how the Rumble is done. So, and that must mean that they have like a bunch of tiny little rumbling pieces in there. I can't remember what the hell they're called. um, that and having the gyro the way it is and having the IR pointer on it, like all of that makes for the possibilities of some really great games. Hell, I just thought about it a little while ago where they could make a game out of like basically a game based upon larceny and breaking into people's houses, and just having to set up where you have a character who you're using that can pick locks. The Joy Cons with the HD rumble in them could simulate picking the lock really well and allow you to be able to tell what you're doing, and you probably wouldn't even have to look at the screen in order to see, like, oh yeah, I'm popping this lock. Like, I just have to nudge this piece up a little bit more and then it'll pop out of place, and then you just turn the Joy-Con and the handle moves and you open the door. Like, and that's just like a small piece of a concept of a game. Like, there's a whole lot more stuff that they can do with it that would make it so much more awesome. And I think that a lot of people didn't take all that into consideration. They just went with, oh, this is just more expensive stuff that they have to pay for, that holds back the console's performance. And I swear I want people to understand that performance is not graphics. Graphics affect your performance, but they are not the performance of your console. It was like and I've seen people say that. There's a new age hardware with last gen performance. I'm like, I swear people don't pay attention. If that's the case, then the if that's the case, then the PS4 and the Xbox One out the box were performing beneath seventh gen standards, where games had lots of frame rate issues, stuff was laggy. Like, yeah, I wouldn't like, no, like, don't say performance. Now, if you want to say previous gen visuals, fine. I care less. Honestly, it doesn't matter to me because I still play games all the way back from. I'd still play old 8-bit games all the way up to current standard for visual effects. It doesn't matter to me. I really don't care as long as the game is fun. And I think that's the thing that people are missing out on, that you have to have things be fun. Now, stepping away from the Joy Cons, and I didn't even talk about them being able to be slid onto the grip. Obviously, I've talked about this before in other videos. But sliding them onto the grip, you have basically what everyone clamors for as a standard controller. Now, would it be the best feel for a standard controller? I doubt that. I really do doubt that. But it's not like it's going to be horrible. It just won't be as good as the Switch Pro controller, which just and it also has the NFC chip in it. I didn't even talk about that. The right Joy-Con has the IR reader, the IR the IR pointer, and the NFC chip in it for the Amiibo. And guess what? The Pro controller has the same HD rumble. It's a controller more akin to what the Xbox One and Xbox 360 controllers are, and it looks a lot more comfortable than using the Joy Cons. It has the D-pad. It has also the gyro built into it, and it also has, again, the NFC chip for using Amiibo, so you don't have to walk over to your Switch in order to use your Amiibo, which was a smart move. And having like Bluetooth 5, 802.11 AC, and a customized 802.11 for interconnection between different Switch units, as well as having the best possible Wi-Fi that you could have, which almost akin to having it on a wired connection. Supports up to a 2 terabyte micro SDXC card, and I've heard from people that those are prone to failure. And to me, I've never had a problem with any micro SD cards, so I can't really. I mean, unless it was one I took in and out constantly, because you strip the connectors, but outside of that, I've never really had a problem with them. So if you put one in and you leave it in there, you should be fine, because every tablet that I've had, every phone that I've had, if I've put a micro SD card in them, they've been fine. Um, and I think that's fine. And on top of that, they're working on alternatives for like a USB drive to be able to be used with the Switch. So there are options for storage. There are tons of options for storage. And on top of that, you have the game carts, which would negate the need for installs. Um, Outside of probably having to download updates or DLC and patches and stuff, you're likely not even going to use much of the memory that's installed on the Switch unless you're buying digital only. And that's up to you. But I think the physical cart, you're probably going to have your saves go to your physical cart rather than be on the Switch's storage, which is another benefit, and it's something that you're paying for. And and again, without installs, you're doing fine, because you'll be able to get into your games faster. You'll be able to get to play them quicker, and that's a benefit of cartridges. So I mean, I'm looking forward to it. All these things right here that I just talked about, these are the things that I think make it worth paying the $300 price tag to get the console. I'm a little. It sucks a little. There's no packing game, but you know what? PS4 and Xbox One didn't exactly come with packing games, and if they did, the prices of the bundles were more expensive. So either way, you were still paying more for that game. It wasn't just like, oh hey, this is in here for the total 400 for the console and the controller in the game. And the tech in the controllers, I think, even though I wish they were cheaper, it kind of explain the tech in the controllers. It gives you reason as to why the controllers are as expensive as they are. But and the Switch base, I don't really know what else is in there other than the USB 3.0 ports, the USB-C port for the charger, and the HDMI cable output. Um, and I think it's HDMI. I don't know which HDMI it is. I don't remember them saying anything about it, but we'll find out. But that's it. I just wanted to get that out my head. Like to me, it's worth to get. It's worth getting it. It's worth paying into these new experiences and to get them and to be able to enjoy them. But that's it for me, folks. Thank you very much for listening. Keep your eyes and ears out for more stuff from me. And until the next time, please enjoy your games. Peace out.